So the key thing that's going on out there, and the key thing that's driving all of the change, and the reason why we need models at all, is the fact that customers and consumers are not behaving like they should, like they used to, and technology is the big thing. We've heard lots about that today. But technology is the really big thing that is facilitating them, but it's also going to facilitate us if we embrace it. Whereas they trust each other more than they trust us as marketeers. I think that's a very big shift.
What the net has done is it's made everything transparent. So people no longer take the word big companies.
That's
right.
They can
Absolutely. Make up their own minds, they know what's going on. And also, you can almost do anything yourself on the net now.
So you can do anything you like yourself on the net. And as consumers, if we think of this today, even in terms of our own consumer behaviour ourselves, I think that hits home very hard. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with this site, TripAdvisor. And the really important thing about TripAdvisor, I think, is just look at their tagline. Get the truth and then go. And that's a huge statement. That says that anyone saying at you is not telling you the truth. So quite a huge positioning or repositioning of traditional companies. Noted example, Arctic Monkeys, whereby they released their album in advance. They released it on the net free in advance of releasing it in the shops. Completely transformed the model of the music industry, which is orchestrated, controlled, managed, and highly publicised. These guys said, there you go. And the phenomenal result is that they actually sold more on the first day of release and in the subsequent 24 hours and in the subsequent week than any other CD that had been traditionally marketed. So this freedom, this liberty, this over to you momentum is radically changing every single aspect of every single business and every single piece of marketing. Evokes the spirit of consumers want, and they want personalised services, and if you don't give it to them, they're going to go get it from someone else, or indeed from each other. MySpace.com, a very, very, very vibrant destination, I suppose, for all our consumers. Essentially what it is a place for you to put your space on the net, and it's about your profile, it's about your life, it's about your friends, it's about the number of hits that you're getting, which is a measure of your popularity, and it's a very, very vibrant site. And again, I like to come back always to what's the bottom line, and does it actually affect value? And in this case, I think it does, and two of the statistics that I think are worth sharing is that 10% of the total internet advertising sales in the States, this site, 10%. And in terms of value and market capitalization values, this site was sold for $580 million 2 years after it was set up. So a phenomenally powerful, people are recognizing that if you can be where the consumers are, then hey. Importantly, this isn't just for the youth. There's a lot of people in Ireland registered on MySpace. There's a lot of people over the age of 30 registered, and they're finding a community and finding a reason to be. So as marketeers, I think it's behoving on us to get with this consumer-to-consumer piece. Speed on this, but there are 80,000 blogs every day, one every second, created and launched. So as marketeers, we've really got to get to grips with it, and it is extremely difficult because consumers own blogs, we don't own blogs, and we've got to be extremely careful how we engage with this because consumers will smell a PR release as a blog a million miles off. But the viral blog is the one that's really important to know about. It's spreading ideas, it is changing the face of journalism, it's changing the face of absolutely every single marketing department and marketplace. And one, I think what we'll be seeing very soon is blogging managers on CVs, or certainly requirements for blogging coming through. So this is not a template, this is actually something that's going to transform our dialogue with consumers. And this isn't about Ford as a particular website, this is about Squidoo. Squidoo was launched in October last year. It operates in the blogosphere, and it today has the same number of hits as Ford, which has been around for 100 years. And it spends nothing offline. So somebody's connecting with it, somebody's getting a benefit out of it, and it's gone viral. So it's just to say that we can't all become Squidoos, but we really need to understand how can we get our message into this blogosphere and get people talking about it.
Brands on about Apple, but the great thing I thought they did was when they brought out the Shuffle and there was a fault on it, and they refused to recall it until somebody started up a blog site that had so many responses. And this guy loved Apple, but he was like, this is wrong, you need to recall it, you need to fix it. And it got to the point where they did, and they listened to him because he had so many people involved in it. And then he closed the site down. He said, right, I've made my point of view. They've changed, they've corrected, they've listened, I still love Apple, thanks very much.
So the key on that one was that consumer loved Apple, but needed to get listened to. Guinness has actually launched a blog February 15th, and already people are blogging about the blog. So, you know, and actually this is a positive one about a corporation doing it. And I don't know who Rachel is. She could be 30 years of age, 25, I don't know. But Rachel has views about Guinness's blog, and what she's basically saying is it's not bad for a corporate job. She's saying the good news is they did it themselves. They didn't hide behind an agency. That's not to say that agencies can't do blogging for us, but the consumer is going to know the difference if it's not done perfectly. But Guinness had the courage, I suppose, to go and do it directly. And you go, oh my God, the Undernet, what's that? So that's a whole other topic. But there is an Undernet. You access it by your mobile phones. Your consumers are there. A bit of a spooky place. But as a marketeer, we need to know about the Undernet. We need to make sure our brands aren't there. And we need to make sure that our brands are being blogged in a very positive way. The open door model is about who champions the consumer, and it used to be brand companies and it used to be retailers, but today it's actually the media, online and offline, and it's also consumers themselves. But basically what Frugal will do, and you'll recognise its source from Google, it will allow you to get the online price of any item at all while you're shopping. And the texting service is absolutely fantastic. You actually can text in, you're on Grafton Street or wherever you are and you want to shop for something, they'll text you the online price. So again, massive shift for retailers, and this is what our consumers are doing today in terms of consumers and open communication. So they want access to real people, they want access to real companies, they want you not hiding behind PR agencies or anybody or hiding behind your fear. They want to, and I think again, some of the companies this morning, you get a sense of them being really open, and that's probably why they're so successful. That spirit of generosity. EasyJet brought the TV cameras in. My God, what companies would have the courage to do that? But they did it, warts and all. There was an openness to it. But there is an openness about it. There is a sense of, yeah, I kind of know the guy who owns that, and I can relate to that because there's a spirit of openness to it. I think this ad here really epitomizes a spirit of openness and transparency.
Please, take a look at this.
Specsavers are explaining their prices openly.
They are. They've got this three-step thing. Look, first pick a frame, add lenses, then add extras.
Note how Pentax lenses are included.
You can work out the price of the glasses for yourself.
Great.
We're not here to applaud them, Jones. Where did you get your glasses, by the way?
They really suit you. Must have gone to Specsavers.
So when I was using this ad, I was thinking it could be in the open model, it could be in the competitive model, it could be in the simplistic model, but what a powerful place that you've actually got a brand positioning that is speaking to so many things that consumers are actually looking for. So in the open model, I think what we need to do is two things. We need to get our houses in order, and that's everything from food ingredients to environmental to employment policies to the whole thing that you need to have consumers very positive about you, and then open the door and welcome them in and have nothing to hide. For a moment. So the first one, excuse me, is experiential marketing. And what experiential marketing is really about is just saying, you know my product or service, I want you to help you touch it, hear it, see it, feel it, whatever is appropriate, but go beyond telling me about it. Go beyond talking at me and bring me into the world. The Cool Zone one was in Blazing Coke, huge temperatures as you can imagine in middle America, and in the summer you literally walk through this, so you get that physical refreshment experience. Simple, bang on strategy, but the consumers will then go and talk about that. And really taking care on the experience that your customers have as they do normal day-to-day business with you, not the once in a year event, but actually editing out, observing them, and making things simple for them because they are overloaded, absolutely overloaded, and they just won't listen to lots and lots of stuff. Actually, we have a condition called human overload, and we actually can only manage 3% of the technology of anything. I use 2 buttons on my remote, I use 3 things on my phone, I don't even go near the digital anything. So there is a reality, and less is more. And that's not just technically, that's in information, it's in processes, it's in absolutely everything.